Okay, we should be back. Okay, we should be back. I downscaled to 720p to see if that helps with the buffering. Alright. I need to minimize that. Okay. Okay. Let's zoom in on the text a little bit. Maybe it'll make it a little easier for everybody to read. Okay, so const x equals this dot get axis. Is that what I want to do? Axis? No, I want to use get value. Get value, x value name, y and z, y and z, and there, okay, and there. So that's our new method. Here is where we will attempt to use it. Get position. So I'm going to need temp velocity. I need it. So JavaScript is a garbage collected language, and that means that you don't want to be newing up things in a loop. Because when you let them go, you'll need to clean up memory over time, and that causes what's called GC pause. And so it's a periodic period where the garbage collector has to come through and mark and sweep all the objects that are no longer in use, and that can cause frame rate issues in games. So the way around this is called object pooling. And in JavaScript, you do that by creating objects and reusing them. You create them one time and reuse them as you go. So I need to create this temporary value so I can reuse it here. I'm calling it const because I don't want the reference for this vector to change. I'll change the individual fields of it, but I won't change the reference to it. And that will help me ensure that I'm not creating a bunch of objects that will be short-lived. So we're already getting the orientation and the position from the VR headset. That's not what it's going to be called. Oh, one of the other things I want to do here is I want to be able to say that some of these are optional. This one is optional. Sorry, I'm not explaining what I'm doing here. So I actually only want a 2D vector for this particular thing, but I'm going to be reading it into a 3D vector. But I want it to be general purpose, So this particular axis, you know what? No, that's stupid. Methods don't really cost anything. Let's just make it easy on ourselves. Just get rid of it completely. I'm still going to output to a vector 3 because I need to get it into a vector 3. But there we go. That's just what I'm going to do. Okay. So then in FPS input, we're going to have a get vector 2 as well. This is going to be the same thing. So this FPS input class is an aggregator for the for all of the different input managers. I just realized that I didn't have the name right on these. Okay. And so now I have a list of managers that I'm going to loop over. And interesting. So this is actually kind of a waste of time. I'm not going to write code that I don't know is actually going to be used. I like to only write code that I know I'm going to use. And I know I'm going to use it because I'm going to use it in a minute here. Alright, so for I equals 0, I is less than this dot managers dot length plus I. There's a lot of criticism over for loops these days. Use for each loop or use array for each, like that. Unfortunately, I'm writing a game framework, and those particular looping constructs are not as fast. I need to have the fastest possible looping constructs here, and a simple for loop is the fastest it gets. So I'm going to do manager. I don't want it to actually create a block scope, so managers x equals manager Alright. Oh, okay. So, like I said, it's best to not create variables if you don't have to. So, I don't need those intermediates. I just need to add to those particular ones. Alright, there we go. So that should be good. And now I'm going to move this to here because that more accurately represents what the language is doing. Okay. Cool. Finally have something I can use. Input dot get vector 2, and it's called strafe is the one and drive is the other, and we're going to put this into temp velocity. And now temp velocity is going to get multiplied by time, and then I'm going to add it to the position. Alright. Let's see what this does. Cannot. Get value is not a function. Interesting. It's back here. What is this? If we don't have get value, what do we have? What is this thing? Oh, I see. Ah. What do I use that for? Media. This is to get audio and video sources connected to the computer. And it's giving me trouble, and I never actually use this. I have a much more specialized way of handling media now. So, let's not use it. Is that right? Yeah. I don't use that at all. Alright, back to get vector 2. And it should work. It works now. Okay. So, oh, gamepad's off. Alright, look at that. So, cool. We're sort of there. We can kind of like move side to side. The problem is that I actually come back here. Where is it? Oh, that means I also got the keyboard working at the same time. Because I had generalized that and I already had the keyboard settings set up. Now we can't turn yet. To be included. Now I need to remove it from all of my HTML files. And the way to do that is pop open another terminal and just rerun the template engine. And so that's going to run over all of these Jade templates and rebuild all the HTML. I haven't been paying any attention. Okay. Looks like we're good. Okay, stay there. And we're done there, and we'll come back. Nope, I don't need that. I need this. And all of these HTML files. And if I poke at one, like this one here, you can see that media file got removed. It's the case for all of these. That's interesting. Yeah, see. Boom. Okay, and now I'm going to do that on that last commit. Okay. Clean up enumeration names. Okay. New get vector2 function to aggregate user input for moving left, right, forward, back. Yeah, sure. And then this is move the player's vehicle using mouse or using keyboard and gamepad. There we go. I'm gonna push that out right now. Oh yeah, this was an old thing. Fix fix project description output. Okay. Alright, so now the next task is to be able to rotate around with the mouse and the gamepad. So in that particular case, when we come back up here to the commands, that's the heading and the pitch. So for the gamepad, it's based off of the right stick, and for the mouse, it's based off of heading and pitch. We've already got them here. It's based off of the x-axis and the y-axis. So this is how you use the input system to kind of process values as they come in. It gives you a lot of control over how to read raw inputs and spit them out into much more useful features. So here, what I'm doing is I'm inverting the x-axis as I move things back and forth. I want things to move in the opposite direction of the mouse, and then I am doing a delta operation. I'm only tracking the changes in that value, because if I just use the value, then if I push the mouse to the left and then leave the mouse there, it's still going to read a positive value. It's still going to continue to integrate the position of the mouse. So I only want to know the changes in the mouse movement. And then I integrate those changes, because then when the mouse is sitting still, there's no change, and so there's no integration, there's no accumulation of the value. So that's how mouse movement gets processed into Wow. Okay. It's making me sick just looking at it. So why did this not work? Ah, I didn't reset the quaternion. So I need to set the quaternion to the identity quaternion so that it doesn't accumulate over each frame. And that seems to... oh. Not quite. I've got the axes inverted. Left and right and up. Whoa, crazy. Huh? About here. Oh, weird. Do I have the... oh, why is the order different? Because the gamepad comes in last? I need to just accumulate. Look at that. I just need to accumulate this way. I don't need to multiply, and since this is a set, I don't need to normalize. Okay. Let's try that now. Oops. I need to accumulate. Alright. Got the basics there. So there's a weird thing here. Why does it look like we're like tipping over instead of just looking down? And that is because the camera is on top of the vehicle. So the vehicle is down on the ground, rotating around. And the vehicle is here. It's the magic carpet, and the person is standing on it, like so. And so their head is up on top of the head, or the head is up on the point here. So when the ground rotates, when the vehicle rotates, the head tilts back and forth like this. So we want something closer to this. Something more like this. I don't know how that's gonna work. We shall see. Another thing that we don't have to do is we don't need this temp quaternion. We can actually just... oh, here's an interesting aspect. If I try to move us, we're actually only moving. We're not moving the right direction. That's not right. So what we do, we need to temp velocity dot apply quaternion. Is dot vehicle quaternion. We get rid of the copy, and we get rid of the temp quaternion, and we just dump it directly out into the vehicle's direction. Okay. What if What if we just set the vehicle's position's Y component to the player's position's Y component, and then we set the player's Y component to 0. Aha! Look at that! Alright. And we rotate and we move in the direction we want to go. Yay! What's strange is the ground doesn't seem to agree that we're moving. It allows us to move left and right, not front and back. It's not true. The icon here, the full screen monitor icon here, is actually what's truthful. We are moving. The ground is mistaken. Ground top position. That's strange. Oh, okay. Because I didn't do a floor operation here, there's no disagreement. This is how infinite movement on the ground is done without needing an infinitely large ground. I reset the position to be the integer component of the vehicle's position so that the fractional component can disagree and you can see what looks like movement, but it's actually a treadmill. Well, that was not too hard. I'm pretty surprised. The other day I was just way too tired to be able to do that. And that worked out very well. So let's go ahead and check that in. Okay. New method for aggregating rotations. And then here we are going to unstage those lines. Come back to here. I don't need temp quaternion. Oh, what's interesting is that I actually already have this velocity. I don't know why I didn't do this before, but it's necessary because ooh, no. Okay, we still need temp velocity. Because we need to do the multiply. I need the velocity to go into the vehicle, into the vehicle's property. But then I need to scale it to account for time. If you ran this on a system with a different frame rate, then you would not get consistent movement, or if your system hit some performance issues to where your frame rate changed, you would start to see inconsistent movement. But I still want to be able to record the velocity on the vehicle itself. Let's make sure that works. That worked. Okay, excellent. Okay. And now that should be good. Yeah. What was this again? This is that. Undo that. No, I just want to stage this hunk. This was move the vehicle around. Rotate the vehicle around. And this was fix the ground treadmill in the Z-axis. Push that out. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm only going to do an hour at a time. It gets It's a little tiring to be talking all day long, but so here you go. You can check out Notion Theory. We bring your product to market within 6 weeks, fixed price, and it's a great way for a company who's just getting started to get their minimal viable product out into market and test their assumptions. And then I'm the lead VR engineer at Primrose. I'm working on Primrose as a means to be able to rapidly prototype virtual reality applications. So there's a lot of interesting things going on in virtual reality world, and a lot of it goes untested, and a lot of thought about what to do. And with Primrose, hopefully we can test these ideas very, very quickly. I'm Sean Macbeth. You can find out more about me here. And thank you for watching.